You are tuned in to the JDAWG and LEEVIS show. After years of playing together in bands and tons of late-night conversations, it was decided that it was only fair we repeat it all here.
Tonight on the JDAWG and LEEVIS show, we will be talking about the VolksFest. We will be talking about Lee at the Prairie State Winery. Also, there will be a story about the football princess, some more about the Tavern Hill Liars, who are not really existing anymore but are trying to exist, and the Great Genoa Duck Race. Tune in, turn on, stop, drop, and roll.
The sun is a mass of incandescent gas, a gigantic nuclear furnace, where hydrogen is built into helium at a temperature of millions of degrees. The sun is hot, the sun is not a place where we could live. But here on Earth there'd be no light without the light it gives. We need its light, we need its heat, the sunlight that we see. The sunlight comes from our own sun's atomic energy. The sun is a mass of incandescent gas, a gigantic nuclear furnace, where hydrogen is built into helium at a temperature of millions of degrees. The sun is hot.
How hot is the sun, LEEVIS?
The sun is so hot that everything on it is a gas, including iron, copper, aluminum, and many others. The sun is large.
LEEVIS, how large is the sun?
If the sun were hollow, 1 million Earths would fit inside. And yet, it is only a middle-sized star.
Wow.
The sun is far away.
How far away is the sun, LEEVIS?
93 million miles away, give or take. That's why it looks so small.
Wow.
But even when it's out of sight, sun shines night and day. We need its heat, we need its light, the sunlight that we see. The sunlight comes from our own sun's atomic energy. The sun is a mass of incandescent gas, a gigantic nuclear furnace, where hydrogen is built into helium at a temperature of millions of degrees.
Cheers.
Hey, so how'd you like the sun?
The sun, ladies and gentlemen.
The sun. Got plenty of that.
The sun is a good friend of LEEVIS's.
Yes.
And
also a cruel mistress.
And I hope I'm a good friend of LEEVIS's.
You are not a cruel mistress.
And tonight in the studio, we have a good friend of the show. In studio, Brian.
Thank you. I am so happy to be here in studio.
Can't you tell by his voice?
Brian.
Studio, Brian.
How could I not be happy to be here?
Well, he is wearing a very bright pink shirt.
It is. I was wondering what the symbols meant across the front of it.
Well, let me describe this to you. He has a shirt on that says across the top, VolksFest.
Volk?
Volk. And if I am correct in studio, Brian, you can correct me on this. Volk is people in German.
Correct.
So it's the People's Fest.
I see.
No correction needed. You are correct.
All right.
So of course he wears a German shirt so that you can act all smart.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, we've gone through this.
So across the bottom, underneath VolksFest, there's a picture of it looks like a guitar, but I'm going to say ukulele because I only see 4 strings.
It's a guitar.
There's a foot.
It is foot.
A glass of beer, and a dodo bird.
That's a duck.
That's a duck.
Duck with a hat.
A duck with a hat.
Right. And if we had
dodos don't wear hats.
If we had this year's VolksFest shirt, it would have a burrito in between the beer and the duck with the hat.
Burrito. I like the addition.
Right.
And I believe as we get into VolksFest, he's going to tell us the significance of this burrito.
Significance of the
Right.
burrito.
There is a significance to that burrito.
It is a magical burrito.
As if there is an insignificant burrito out
There is not.
Yeah.
There's
they don't
not.
make insignificant burritos.
Even a McDonald's burrito is not insignificant.
Although having it at 8 a.m. is pretty close to insignificant.
Well, not unless you have picante sauce
would,
on it.
but it would have
Would you like hot
ramifications.
sauce with that? Every morning, my lord. No, I don't want hot sauce with my coffee. They asked me that once.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
I bet I know who was at the drive-thru.
So I'm in the drive-thru, and I think I ordered, I don't know, I think it was oatmeal that morning, and a coffee.
With hot sauce?
But first I said, I'll have an oatmeal, and he's like, is that all? And a coffee. After I said and a coffee, he said, would you like hot sauce with that? And I just politely said no.
I would do that to you.
The answer to the question was no.
Why wouldn't you want hot sauce with oatmeal?
Yeah.
That's true. I could have put it in the oatmeal. Yeah, my bad. So, in studio, Brian is going to, throughout the show tonight, be a promotional whore for VolksFest.
I am a
Sweet.
promotional horror for VolksFest.
Because now we tried
Promotional.
We tried to figure this out. You said I said chairman of the board,
Right.
but you're also the vice president of the presidency of the
No.
chairman of the board.
I'm the president of Vice for the Kishwaukee Valley Wanderers.
President of vice for the Say that again.
Kishwaukee Valley Wanderers.
All right. What are the Kish Valley Walkie Walkie-Talkie
right,
Wanderers?
right. We are a walking club, an American Volk Sport Association walking club, certified, everything. We are wandering.
So you're
we are.
You're certified wanderer.
We are. I am pretty certified on everything, but wandering is our main thing. The Kishwaukee Valley Wanderers is a club that is a non-competitive sport kind of thing.
A non-competitive walking
Oh,
club.
why would you waste your time wandering if it wasn't going to be competitive?
True.
Well, to get
there.
there,
Can't you win?
You cannot win unless you get there, and when you get there, you win.
It's so un-American.
So everyone's a winner.
Everyone's
Yeah,
kind of. It's kind of without the trophies. Everyone's a winner without the trophies. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll talk about winners a little bit later in the show, because part of this pre-VolksFest festivities before it became VolksFest, I was a winner in this time of year in this fest. We'll get into that later.
It would take VolksFest for you to be a winner.
I'm a winner anyways.
Are you a wandering winner?
I am not a wandering winner.
Okay.
I bet you're a duck race winner.
Maybe I'm a duck race winner.
That's part of the.
Well, let's see.
That's part of the whole.
You could be a
VolksFest.
barefoot winner.
Or I could be a guitar winner or a beer winner.
You're probably a beer winner.
You could be a burrito winner if we had it on the shirt.
Yeah, next year.
But this year. Sure.
Well, I spent time in Tijuana once during a burrito winter. It was awful. 6 inches of meat per hour. My goodness gracious. Oh, you just caught on to that, didn't you? I just caught on that I actually had something to catch on to. Sour cream. Extra sour cream, if you please. Tis the taste of a taco. So, VolksFest
Yes.
in Studio Brian.
Yes,
You know everything about it.
I do.
We had a little promo earlier today, and it talked about briefly VolksFest, Genoa, Illinois, 2016.
I was going to say, I need the basics.
And it's coming up September 9th, 10th, and 11th of 2016.
That is correct. You have gotten the basics.
Was it 3 days last year? I thought it was 2.
It was. We worked it all 3 days,
Okay.
but it was the first year last year, and everything didn't go as smoothly as it could have. But it is.
Well, it's the first year.
Right,
Yeah.
it's first year. You know, we're working out the bumps, and we're trying to get things that people will come to en masse this year.
Right. And they will come en masse.
Right. We hope so.
They will come out in groves.
Right. If we build it, they will come. That's my
All the groves in Genoa.
the groves in Genoa.
So VolksFest, being
Yes.
the People's Fest,
Yes.
involves several things. One of the main focuses of VolksFest is, I believe, the craft beer and the wine tasting.
Well, it is a main point in the show,
A facet?
a facet. but
if you will.
But the whole idea of the VolksFest is to serve the various entities in the community that want to do things. The Boy Scouts are participating this year. The Goodfellows are participating. The DeKalb County Voluntary Action Committee is participating. The Chamber is participating. The Wanderers are. We're getting a lot of participants that are coming out and trying to make something bigger than just one community. Yeah.
And what's good is that they found enough success in it last year that they could come back and say, we want this to be bigger, better, but we want it to be here. We want to remain here in Genoa. Genoa doesn't have a whole lot of different places to hold these kind of festivals. However, where they're holding it is right along the Kishwaukee River. It's, to me, a really good spot, being that it's easy to get to. It's right off the main road. It's easy to find. You can see it from the main drag. And last year, they actually had parking in the grass, so they made parking. People parked up and down the streets. But I think this year, parking might be a little bit more difficult, because I really think it's going to double in size.
We hope it's more difficult this year.
Exactly. That would be a good thing.
That is our desire. However, this year we will have 2 buses running through the town, picking up and dropping off people for the whole beer.
Buses picking people up and dropping off?
Yeah, we will be making a route here within the next 4 or 5 days.
So that means Levis can go down there and get all schnookered up.
That's what I was thinking.
And if
And
Levis
they'll bus them back to North Brown Studios.
I can't wait for this.
that is a fact.
Belvedere is going to be on the route, I hope.
North Brown Jim will have to take you home. That's all. You know.
I'll carry
I'm
on
just
my
gonna pass
shoulders.
out on the lawn.
I'll carry on my shoulders.
Well,
It's too much work.
He's got the spare room back there. You can stay. but what it really is we're going to have some designated stops where you get picked up, and then when you want to go home, you're going to get on the bus and they're going to take you home. They're not going to drop you off at just the corner. They're going to drop you off at your house. And
What color is this bus?
Voluntary Action Committee color.
Not a small yellow one.
No, it is not. It is.
Which I used to ride to school.
Right,
Voluntary
right.
Action Blue.
Yes, right. I believe they're tan.
Maybe,
but,
maybe Voluntary Action is red. I don't know.
Right.
It could be.
Right.
It really doesn't matter as long as I get home.
Sounds
As
very
long as
American.
you get home and you're safe.
That's very cool bus
Correct.
transportation for the VolksFest.
Correct.
So we've got bands at the VolksFest
Yes.
on Friday night.
Friday night, you're going to see Rockin' the Kish. That is serving both the Genoa Education Foundation and the... Who else?
That's why you're here.
Well, I know. I know. I don't have these
He just
things.
looked at me with a stink eye and a wink, and I didn't know what
I
to
know.
say.
The President Vice or
I
whatever
know.
it was.
It's you had me drink beer before I started, and it's hard to remember the Chamber of Commerce. I know it's COC, but I can't remember what the words are. Chamber of Commerce.
I believe I did text in studio Brian Levis that he was to drink before he got here.
Right.
So he is
you
correct.
told me.
Yeah.
You told me I had to.
He's
That
a
was
team player, I can tell.
It usually makes this
I'm
go a
in.
little smoother, but he did not listen to my advice to not wear pants.
Yep. I
Oh,
wore
well,
pants.
He's wearing pants.
Oh.
New guy.
I
Yeah.
tried telling him, drink before, no pants.
That's why you guys don't have on pants.
Exactly.
Oh,
I didn't make him take them off on the way down. I thought it would be funny, to have somebody here that
with
actually
pants.
wore pants on.
Oh.
On the way down.
On the way down, down to North Brown. What? Was it something I said? Down to North Brown? That sounds funny.
That's what the bus driver says when you get on at the VolksFest. We're going down to North Brown.
Right.
Nice.
Bus stops at North Brown.
So what are some of the names of the musical acts that will appear at Rockin' the Kish? Rockin' the Kish is the name of the concert.
That's Friday
or the name
night.
of the,
That is
the Friday night show.
That's a Friday night show. Yes. There will be Jake Schweitzer from Glam Camp.
Okay.
He's local. He's played here in many entities. He's played here in
Now, he was
Funky Love.
He was in another band as
Funky
well.
Love many years ago.
The Wild Family.
The Wild Family is another band that he's played in. And now he's playing Glam Camp, and he will be here for the show.
We can find Glam Camp on YouTube.
Yes, you can.
Good. I'm
Just go on to YouTube
Glam.
and type in the GLAMCAMP and they got some videos up there. I believe they were on. What's that Chicago show where they do the local bands? They record So Far, I think it's called, or So. Oh, I can't remember it. I'll look it up before the show's over. But it's kind of like Audio Tree Live, if you've ever heard of that, where it's a studio downtown. You come in, they record you actually doing a video. They make a really nice recording and video for you, and then they post it. And they do local bands. He was actually on Audio Tree Live, but I think he did this other one too. So, but anyways, yeah, Glam Camp will be there.
And
who else we got?
Alex Black.
Alex Black
From Genoa.
Okay.
Another local artist.
Okay.
He's the two of them are opening the show. And then we got Hannah Ashbrook.
Hannah Ashbrook?
Yes.
Of The Voice Hannah
Of
Ashbrook?
The Voice Hannah Ashbrook. Of The Voice in the
Hannah
Nutella
Ashbrook.
commercial. Yes,
Are you
absolutely.
kidding me? That song,
I am not kidding
the
you.
Spread the Cheer song that my
Spread-
kids listen to?
That's exactly. Spread the Cheer.
So,
Hannah Ashbrook.
so are you trying to say this is a family-friendly event?
Family friendly.
Damnly friendly? It's a damnly family friendly?
Damn right, it's a family-friendly event.
You bet.
Very nice. Okay, so we got her, and who else is going to be there?
Santa is coming to town.
Santa is coming to town. But it's not your typical Santa.
Yeah.
Santa in September.
We got an H on the end of Santa.
Correct.
It's a Chicago band,
Santah.
Okay.
and they've had a lot of success in Chicago, and they're coming. And, yeah,
Well, who better to headline a show than Santa?
right.
Yeah.
Right.
That should bring the kids out.
Santa in September. What are you kidding?
Perfect.
I'm thinking.
All right, so we've got all of that on Friday night. Now, will there also be, I know the craft beer and the wine tasting, that takes place on Saturday.
Afternoon.
So, afternoon.
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning, you're going to be doing some walking.
We have the Volks March, which is a 6K, 10K walk along the Kishwaukee River through town if you want to. It's just a walk. It's a walk. It's a really nice thing for the community.
So not a running event.
Not a running.
This is a
There's
Volks
no timing.
walk.
You can start from 8 to
Slow it down,
11.
JDAWG. Slow it
Could
down.
I push Levis in a stroller?
You could.
Probably.
And you could probably put
While-
in the
while
whole
he's
Have
wearing a
to.
diaper?
You might have to. When is this? 8:30 in the morning? Oh,
Well,
yeah.
no,
Absolutely.
No, you got from 8 to 11 to start. You don't have to start at 8. It's not a time thing. You just come out and walk.
So
you
there's
walk
not-
and see our beautiful paths.
There's not going to be like the cop car at the end of the parade that, forces you to go quicker?
No.
Okay.
No.
I might be able to work around that.
Well, you might need the diaper if I put hot sauce in your coffee.
Maybe.
And I'm not changing it.
Is there going to be anybody that yells at me if I speed walk?
No. You could walk fast. You could run slowly or fast if you want. It's a way to get out and see what Genoa has provided to the community. Genoa has done a lot with their paths, with their walking, with that cabin from 1835 that they've got out
Right,
there.
they actually went out there and built a cabin from 1835.
Oh.
That was very nice of them.
They found it. It was built inside an old farmhouse, and they tore down the farmhouse, and the cabin was intact. And they They went and put it out there. It's sweet. It's what they've done out there is sweet.
Yeah,
Really.
the path actually takes you pretty much through the whole west side of the town, through the Forest Preserve, and it winds out coming up on some country road somewhere,
Pleasant Hill Road.
Pleasant Hill Road. And when you're done, if you do the whole thing, I think it is a 10K.
If you go from the beginning to the end at the park, it's
Right.
6K.
Okay.
And then if you go through town, it's a 10K. You
Gotcha.
can do either one.
But yeah, up till this was only like 2 years ago. Before that, we didn't really have any
Anything.
paths. We had a couple
Anything.
of trails at the Forest Preserve, but we didn't have any actual designated paths. So it was very nice that they did that.
Yeah, it's great.
Some
It's
of it
great what we
was
got.
like underdeveloped property that was never bought behind some of the new subdivisions, and they just weren't going to build anymore. There's like a building freeze in Genoa, and a lot of the Derby is it Derby Estates, the one just south of town
No.
where all the bigger homes are.
Well, yes.
Because you can't even buy a property back there
Right,
now.
right.
It's all landlocked.
Right.
And then I believe on the west side of town in that neighborhood, the Riverbend, it's all landlocked there as well. So they said, let's just buy up some of this with the government. And let's just make paths because we're not going to be able to build there. So they did something with it.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
The city's done a great job with what they've been doing there, and you've got miles of paths. I was out the other day in Marengo, our neighboring town, which is a beautiful
Marengo.
town. You've heard of that.
Do they have a forest preserve? Because I'm still stuck
Marengo.
on the fact that Genoa has a forest preserve.
They've got
How does
two.
how does
We've
the
got
corn
two.
let that in?
A forest is consisted of 10 or more trees.
Okay.
So technically, between me and my neighbor, we have a forest preserve.
I see. I can get behind that. Yeah, that explains the bears you guys keep getting.
Yes.
Or the bear.
From Wisconsin.
A lot
keep
of black
getting-
bear in Genoa.
They come down from Wisconsin off.
Yep.
A lot of black bear. It's a true statement.
So,
So go on with your preserving and your
Yes.
forests.
Yes,
and
yes,
your,
and
your
yes,
nature
making the world
and your
a better
conservatories
place and whatever.
and-
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes.
Lee's a nature hater. He
Yes.
he stopped the preserving.
That's right. I don't preserve anything.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing the walk, and then in the afternoon we have the craft beer and wine tasting.
Right.
And there's more craft beer to be tasted this year than last year, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think I saw on the lineup. So,
Yes, yes.
and that's all listed on the website, which you can reach.
And wine too.
What is that website?
Genoa VolksFest.org or com.
Yeah, or com work,
Yeah,
correct?
We're,
Yep.
we're both. We got them both. But yeah, you can see it's a nice weekend. On Sunday we have the Boy Scouts with their breakfast burritos going in the morning, and then we got the duck race in the
yeah.
afternoon. You
There's
can
your burritos.
Have a burrito. You can have a duck race. The whole weekend we're going to have food trucks out there, and
Right.
we're
After you're done getting drunk from the craft beer, I mean,
Yeah.
what better food in the morning
then breakfast.
a really good
burrito.
idea.
than breakfast burritos?
Correct.
And then the afternoon on Sunday, what do we got?
Ducks racing.
Ducks
Down the
racing.
river.
Let's get into that a
Racing.
little bit, shall we?
Ducks race.
Don't,
no good
don't
ever.
call PETA on us.
Nothing good ever came out of a duck race. Let's just put it that
I
way.
beg to differ with you, Levis.
Really?
I believe that's true.
So here, let me tell you a story about that duck race. 2013,
J-Dawg.
2013, and this was 2 years, well, 1 year before the first VolksFest. So now VolksFest falls at the same time of year, so they put the duck race and everything together. It becomes a weekend.
Gotcha.
Before that, it was just the Great Genoa Duck Race weekend. So it was on Sunday. Here's what the Genoa Duck Race is. We have the Kishwaukee River that flows through Genoa.
The Mighty Kish.
The Mighty Kish.
There needs to be a Mighty Kish song.
The Mighty Kish.
I'll have to work on that.
The Mighty Kish is not a large river, but a powerful river.
Powerful enough
to
do
carry
what?
plastic ducks.
to secure NIU for
Yes,
That's correct.
I have heard
Yeah,
that story.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what we do with these ducks. Everybody buys a plastic, or I think they are plastic. They're not rubber ducks. They're plastic ducks.
So you get to take it
And
home
you
when
buy
you're
it
done.
for no
You said buy.
for the race. Let's say
Rent.
rent.
So it's more of a okay.
You're renting a
Rental.
plastic
You're renting
duck.
a duck.
On the bottom of the duck is a number, and you pay. I think it was like $2.50 a duck, or whatever the going price is.
You are correct.
And then they take those ducks and they put them in a garbage can, a new garbage can though.
Oh.
So it's more of a container.
So it doesn't smell like
a duck container.
It's
I
not a
believe.
dirty duck.
I believe it's called a duck container.
it doesn't smell like old ducks or anything.
It does not smell like old ducks. So then we put all those in there. They pile them up, and then they have hundreds of these ducks, and they're $2.50 a piece. Well, there's prizes that come out of that money, and I think it's $500 for first, $250 for second, $100 for third, and $50 goes to the last place duck.
Oh, nice.
So you can win by being absolutely the
worst
last duck.
Worst duck in the flock.
All right, so we got that. Now, they go about, 200 yards down the river, and they dump all of these ducks off of the bridge into the water. And then these ducks travel down the Kish, and you got everybody.
You got duck herders with rakes.
Oh,
to,
correct.
to
I was gonna say,
keep the ducks flowing.
would you call
Correct.
the garbage cans the duck buckets?
You could call it a duck bucket.
Okay.
That's fine.
So you dump the duck bucket.
You dump the duck bucket.
All right.
Say that 10 times. So all these ducks come floating down, and everybody's screaming and yelling on the shore, and they're, go, 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 and nobody knows whose duck because it's written on the bottom, but they're all yelling anyways. And then there's a net at just before the Route 72 bridge, and the first duck to touch the net is the winning duck.
That's a fact.
Now, I've been out this way for about 16, 17 years now. Up until 2013, never gave much thought to the duck race. So I'm over at a friend's house, and we're coming back. I'm with my younger daughter, and we're driving by, and I'm like, oh, the duck race is today. And she says, Daddy, let's stop at the duck race. And I'm like, fine, let's stop at the duck race. So I go over, and I see Carolyn Tobinson.
Yeah, correct.
Owner of Ace Hardware in town.
The cheese on this whole VolksFest.
Correct.
By the way.
And she is running a lot of what's going on with the duck race, and she's taking care of all the management of it. And she says, why don't you buy a couple of ducks? And I'm like, fine, how much are they? $250. So I buy 2 ducks. One for me, one for my daughter. And then I thought, you know what? I got 4 people in my family. I'm going to buy 2 more, and I'm going to write their names on the ticket. I'm going to write one for my wife and one for my other daughter. I bought 4 ducks for a total of $10. Mm-hmm. So, maybe 20 minutes goes by. They start the race. My younger daughter and I head down to the shore, and here come the ducks. And just like everyone else, I'm screaming and yelling, and I have no idea where my duck is.
You got no ducking clue.
And so we see the ducks coming. There's 3 that are pretty much neck and neck with about 20 feet left, and then one just breaks loose. Ahead by about a foot. It was the Usain Bolt of ducks.
All right.
Even had the smile, too. It was turning and smiling. And it touches the net. The gentleman picks it up, and he calls out, Duck 171. And I paused.
What number were you?
And I turned to the gentleman next to me, and I said, did he say 171? And he said, yes, he did. And I said, oh, I just won $500. I won the damn duck race. Never been in it. Bought 4 ducks. Won $500. And I will never buy a duck again.
You should.
Are you?
Yeah.
Ever.
Oh, are you kidding me? I got ducks for sale right now. You're buying 2. You are spending money on the duck. That is why you should buy ducks for the rest of your freaking life. You cheap ass son of a bitch. This is. What are you kidding? You got.
Brian's very opinionated about his ducks.
What are you kidding?
I am never buying another duck.
You're buying,
how do you top
you're
that?
buying ducks for
Think
the
of
rest
the
of your
duck
life.
abuse. Yeah. They're sitting there in duck buckets waiting for you and with no other purpose in life than to, try and be a, what do they call it in the horse races where they, a late sprinter or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Or a duck mutter or whatever. Depending on how high the mighty
Duck
kick
mutter.
is.
The duck runs better in the mud. Is that what you?
Exactly.
The water's muddy. It runs better.
So regardless of how much you're going to push me to buy another
before
duck,
I
just
leave
buy a
tonight,
damn
you're
duck.
buying 2 ducks for $5.
You can put my
but
name
see,
on
I
it.
don't want to take all the money again. I need to spread the wealth. If I buy a duck, it's going to win.
Then you give it back to the VolksFest.
But see,
it's going for all kinds of good stuff.
Here's the thing, and I did not lie.
Oh.
The duck that won, I wrote on the ticket my wife's name. Her number actually won. So I made her go get the check at the Chamber of Commerce and get her picture in the paper.
It was a much better picture.
So
I'm gonna
much
tell
better.
you for sure.
But I just kind of sat there for a good 10 minutes thinking, what just happened, and what do you do with $500? You know what we did with it?
Well, I'm surprised
You
your
didn't
wife
buy more
even let you know
ducks,
that you
for
got
sure.
No,
it.
we did not buy more ducks.
Right.
But I remember exactly what we did.
What?
We paid the electric bill.
Wow.
Because we were going to be a little short on that month. So thank you, Genoa Duck Race, for making my
See,
house
that gave
cool,
back to the community, too.
making my house
Right.
cool and my pool filtered. Because I'll tell you, in the summertime, that bill. Whew. But yeah, that's my experience with the duck race. But it was a blast, and they had a whole bunch of stuff for the kids there. It's
Right.
it's
They're
huge
going to have
kids
more
event.
stuff for the kids. There
Hula
this
hoop
year.
contest.
Right. They're going to have. I think they're going to have
wait,
the petting
why
zoo.
is that
We're
just
trying
for
to
the
get
kids?
petting zoo. There's.
Why is the petting
you're
zoo
right.
just for the
Right.
kids?
You're right.
I can buy a duck, but I
right.
can't.
Well, no, there's
pet
a kids
pony?
petting zoo, and there's an
You can
adult.
pet the goat if you want to.
Okay.
There's also an adult
right.
petting zoo, which I will be wearing the duck costume and be part of that for the adults.
That's what I'm paying money for. That's why the duck on his shirt has a hat, isn't it? That's
So
you.
It's $2.50, but it's not per pet. It's per 2 minutes. So you get 2 minutes of petting for $2.50.
Or until
then
the
they throw
song
me in the
ends.
river and I float down to the nets. Oh. So no, there won't be an adult petting zoo. But that's something we could
It
probably.
could be.
I don't-
Something
yeah,
we
I
should
was gonna
probably
say,
think
it
of.
depends on
We
how
could
good.
look into it for next year.
Sponsored by JDAWG and Leevis, the adult petting zoo at VolksFest 2000.
Depends on how good the craft beer selection is. I mean,
you
after a
could just
couple
get
hours of that,
the
there
furry
might be.
costumes and come out there and be the animals.
Here you go. Let me get the promotion going.
Come on out to VolksFest 2016. Adult Petting Zoo sponsored by JDAWG and Leevis.
What the duck?
I'm thinking that sounds right. It's going to get us more people. That's all we need.
Yeah, so there you go.
You need to have that music playing at the front gate of the adult petting zoo, just to make sure that everybody understands what they're in for.
And I want Dirk Diggler taking tickets.
There needs to be a sign.
You a superstar? Are you a superstar? Well, we do know Dirk the drummer. He could be Dirk Diggler.
He is a superstar.
He's absolutely a superstar.
Fantastic.
All right, so we wrap it up with the Genoa duck race.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be absolutely 3 days of...
So that's the climax?
That is the climax.
Okay.
The
Jim
Jim
wins $500. That's what I come out for.
Right.
How's that not a climax?
Well, I'm sure it works for you.
Wait. If you want to... Let's bring that back up.
Yeah, I think you should.
Since you said climax.
I knew it, man.
I just like hearing the music. I'm just picturing some guy just standing there in like a striped blue and orange suit.
Well, I'm picturing
Got
you
his
in a
pocket
duck
watch
suit.
hanging out with a big wad of bills in his hand. Got his dark sunglasses on. Hey, you here for the petting zoo? You look over and you just see J-Dog crawling around in a duck outfit.
Well, you look really good in black light. I've seen that.
Leave us with a sheep outfit on. Oh. When is it not necessary to have that music ready to go? You never know when you're going to need it. Let me tell you. So VolksFest 2016, September 9th, 10th, and 11th.
That's true.
When do the festivities start on the 9th? When can people start showing up?
6:30.
6:30.
The bands are starting at 6:30, so you should get there maybe a little
little
early.
sooner.
Yeah.
And there will be drinks served Friday night. Not
There will.
necessarily the craft beer and wine tasting, but there will be...
There will be Revolution beer and Miller Lite beer on Friday.
Revolution beer.
Revolution.
The Miller Lite?
The Miller Lite from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Are you going to have America beer?
There will not be any America.
No America.
No
What?
America served. Sorry.
I thought Miller was about as America as it gets.
Well,
You got a point there.
or is it not?
Budweiser
Yeah,
bought
that-
America.
Oh.
When Budweiser bought America, it's
Right.
Is it really America? Like M-E-R?
No, it was America. They actually called the beer America.
Well,
but it sounds better America.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying America.
It sounds like if I'm going to drink it, it sounds America.
So it's kind of funny. I went to the Mall of America not too long ago, about a month ago, and took a picture with my family out front. It was a selfie, and we had the big sign behind us says Mall of America. I'm the one that always says, please stop saying America. It's dumb. I don't know where it came from.
Joke's over.
And somehow or another, Alabama and Mississippi have just bred their way up to Illinois, and we're all saying America.
Bama and Sippy?
Bama and Sippy. Balabamba and Issamippi. And Orderflaw down there. So I take this selfie, and little do I know, there's a light post behind me that takes out the letter A in America, and behind me it says Mall of America. It was just brilliant. I didn't even plan on it. So, if you cannot wait for VolksFest,
I can't.
I can't.
which I don't think any of us.
I'm going to start now.
You're going to start waiting?
No,
I'm starting
gonna,
drinking.
I'm going to. Yeah, he's going to start drinking.
I'm officially going to start waiting now.
I'm going to start. Training up my duck.
Right.
So getting him ready.
Inflate him.
Yes,
Inflate
exactly,
duck game.
and get him used to the mud. If that's
So
the
you're more of a
case.
mallard or a wood duck?
Kind of a loon.
Oh,
Kind of a loon.
the all natural loon.
Loons come in the duck family. I think you're an outsider. I think
could
with the
be.
loon, you're an outsider.
I'm sure a loon is coming a duck sometime.
My wife had a. There's some fantastic duck name from up north, and I can't remember what it was, but it's like the Galabaster or something like that. It's this crazy name that doesn't sound like a duck.
Mur something.
Yeah, it could
Cancer,
be
Mur-
Murica.
Merca duck. Yes.
No, I'll talk to her tonight, and she'll be like, "Oh, you mean the hudda blah blah?" And then I'll have to bring it in next week.
The hudda hullaba.
Hudda hudda blah.
That
Exactly.
sounds like a duck.
Stick with the loon.
Well, if you guys can't wait for VolksFest
Right.
What can we do?
for local entertainment,
Right.
I happen to know as for a fact
For a
this
fact.
Saturday
Yes.
This
is a
Saturday.
show that you're not allowed to go to,
Who?
That's true. It's very exclusive.
but you can stand outside and look through the window at Leevis playing at the Prairie State Winery.
Wow.
Prairie
Sycamore.
on State.
Wow.
Yes.
Prairie on State. In
Prairie
Sycamore,
on
yes,
State.
it's called Prairie on
right,
State.
Right. Right. They're going to be at the VolksFest, you know, those
Yes, they
winery
are.
people.
Prairie
should
State
be.
Winery will be out there with about
They-
75 different brands of
There,
wine.
there are winery representative in our
Good.
little town.
Yep. So Leevis will be playing there.
Personal favorite.
So I can't tell you to come on out because Leevis, if you could explain why.
Well, it's
However, I get to be there.
Private
I'm-
party?
It really is.
Technically,
It's-
I'm the sound
Holy
guy.
crap.
Yeah, it's the
Why you tell me about
It's-
a private party?
it's for their wine club.
Private party.
Oh.
He's going to tell you right now.
My
Yeah,
wife's
they-
a wine club member.
Well, there you go. Then you can come.
All right.
So, yeah, the wine club is meeting in Sycamore on Saturday night, and I think they're doing something in Genoa on Friday night. Probably something similar, but
I think they're doing a beer tasting.
I wish.
the widest variety of tequilas available in Genoa, Illinois.
And they're pairing it with different brands of potato chips.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I joke about how I don't know if it's a promotion or a demotion to be, it's like, well, the wine club will put up with them, or
I do understand, though, that the wine club packs the place.
so
It
does
does.
it?
You know,
Okay.
it's a promotion.
It's not going to
Well,
be
now
empty
you
by
tell
any
me.
You're
means.
promoted if you're
Okay.
in the wine club.
Well,
So,
you are now
You've
you are now
arrived.
private material.
Right.
See?
I mean, for all I know, they might even just put curtains in the windows.
So no one can
You
watch
need to be a
Ross.
part of the
I
club to
really-
enjoy Leevis.
So no one can see me dressed up in the duck outfit
Right.
while I play ukulele. So, but yeah, anyway, so that'll be new and exciting and kind of interesting.
Right.
And we'll see how that goes. But yeah,
and,
I'm
and
excited.
I think the wine club members,
Saturday night.
isn't it like $100 a piece to get in there? I mean, no pressure or anything.
No,
Something
you know
like
what? If by something like that, my understanding was that you have to buy 3 bottles of wine within 6 months, or
Right.
something like that.
Right.
I'm thinking it's more like something like what he said there. It isn't really big. It's nothing.
Yeah, I think it's pretty non-exclusive, but there are some rules.
And you
It's
get
not
great
hard to get
discounts.
in.
But it's hard to get.
It's
They
really
keep
hard to get
sending
out of
you
it.
wine in the mail.
Maybe I'll have to play, Hotel California and
Right.
and redo it as Hotel Sycamore.
Yeah.
So yeah, Leevis is going to play there. I am the sound guy,
Yes.
Really?
so that's my way of sneaking in without being a wine member.
Yep.
And I will be sipping on the wine and petting Leevis while he's playing.
The adult
In the
petting
zoo.
zoo.
It's an awfully weird kind of show. He'll be singing some kind of country bumpkin song up
avant-garde.
there, and I'm just kind of petting his hip with my cheek. Oh, what's that guy doing?
Yeah,
Knocking the dust off.
You're gonna have to pay extra for that. I'm gonna have to pay extra for that.
So there's that, and then we also have. Well, I guess
Yes.
VolksFest is actually coming up before this, but after that, the following weekend, if you are a fan of the Tavern Hill Liars, who originated in Genoa and spread out amongst Lombard and Belvedere and some bit of Chicago and a little bit of Huntley, we pulled all
Everywhere.
these
In Maine.
in and grabbed
Everywhere.
people in
Maine.
You left
Maine.
out Maine.
Maine,
Right,
the state of Maine.
Yes.
Yes.
Not the street.
Eastport, Maine, which I believe
Is
I was
near-
told by the band member that lives there that if you go any further east than Eastport, you're wet
No.
because you can't go any further east in the United States. So, but the Tavern Hill Liars the following weekend will be having 3 shows in 3 days.
Crazy.
They play once a year, and they choose 3 days to play 3 shows. On a Friday, which I believe is the 16th. Do I got that right? Let me check my calendar here.
Yeah, because Saturday is the 7th.
The 16th, we will be playing at Prairie State Winery
Yes, in Genoa,
in Genoa.
Friday night.
And
One
then
of the VolksFest participants.
they are?
Yeah. They're going to be right there, man, serving you wine. Yeah, you betcha.
And he hasn't stopped drinking since he got here.
Yeah, I haven't.
He's a good man.
And then
We're getting what we paid for.
Right.
we
you're
are
right, exactly.
all $2.50 of it. And then on the
Yeah,
17th,
You just owe him a duck.
or a pet. And we are playing on the 17th at a private wedding, which actually in Studio Brian is invited to, so he'll be able to enjoy that. Right. And we'll be doing the wedding, and I have no idea what we're going to play there.
I hope we don't get our sets confused.
Yeah,
because that could be embarrassing.
Lady in Red, did you get that worked up yet?
Oh, no, I was working on Gin and Juice.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you stick with that?
Okay.
And then the Sunday, which is the 18th, we'll be playing at Johnamac.
Johnamac.
It's Johnamac.
It's Johnamac.
Johnamac Orchard in Malta, Illinois.
Correct. Joan has her own orchard. John owns this one.
Wasn't Joan a place that we did karaoke one time?
Probably.
West of Belvedere. What was the name of that place? It was like some 60-year-old woman that you come in and she's like, "Come on in, honey, and have a drink," and then you go up and sing, and
she totally
she'd pour shots down
head.
your throat. Oh, I can't remember that lady's name.
No, it was oh gosh,
but it's not there anymore.
No, it's gone.
But it was right across from Frank's Gay Marquee.
Yes,
well, it used to be Frank's
there.
Gay Marquee. Mm-hmm. And now I think it's a go-kart track or something like that.
No, now it's Ned's.
Oh, it's Ned's. Okay.
Ned's breakfast place. I believe they serve burritos and Bloody Marys.
And hot sauce in your coffee.
Probably.
Yes. Mm-hmm. For $2.50. So, yes, we'll be playing at the Orchard, and that is a 4-hour set.
Yes.
So the best part about that is if you come the first hour and you enjoyed the music, come the last hour because you're going to hear the same exact set again in the last hour.
That's absolutely true.
So, and then that stuff in between, we just kind of fuddle that in there. But yeah, it's pretty much the same. You open and you close with the same song.
4 hours is a long time.
It is a very long time
for a band.
And we've played there when it was cold.
Yes.
We played there when it was scorching hot.
Bees!
And bees.
Oh.
It's always in September, but there's been times where it's been literally 40 degrees and other times where it's been 85.
Yep.
Now, the stage
sometimes on the same day.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The stage is generally in the shade, but it doesn't matter if it's 40 or if it's 80. The flies.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Hearing you.
You open the door to get your instruments out, and you have one person opening the door, you grab it, and then they shut it real quick. Because if you don't, you're going to have 75 flies in your car. I guess it's just this time of year. But it's actually a really nice place to play because nobody is really paying attention.
Well,
so nobody really realizes that we're not a good band. It's fantastic.
Helpful.
You just skate those 4 hours right along.
See, there's definitely a crowd mentality there because the speakers point out over all the other activities.
Correct.
So even though there may not be a lot of people directly listening to you, we have no idea how many people are standing out there in the corn maze going, "Oh my God, I wish they'd shut up," or "How long are they going to play that song?"
Or "I'm trying to shoot the apple cannon here, and you're distracting me."
I hope we do.
How can I hit the 1973 Cutlass Sierra out in the cornfield with the apple cannon if you're distracting me?
I would love to get a complaint from an apple shooter. That would be fantastic.
And they actually have a pumpkin cannon.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're talking like 12-pound pumpkins being launched hundreds of yards. That's worth the price of admission. I would pay $250 for that. But I will not pay. I will not pay $250 for another duck.
Your whole hatred of ducks has
I
got
love
me
ducks.
worried.
I'm a duck lover. $500
Save
that duck
the
got
ducks. You gotta save the habitat. You gotta help.
Sometimes
save
you gotta
the ducks.
savor the moment.
How does putting a bunch of plastic ducks in a river save the habitat?
Of the plastic ducks, he's got to.
The plastic duck habitat.
You got the plastic duck. There ain't no real ducks involved here. Plastic duck habitat's what
Did
you
you ever
say.
hear? There was actually a. I heard this a while ago, years ago. There was a tanker, or a transport ship of some kind, a big barge. And we don't hear about it, but they don't always make it from point A to point B across, the Atlantic Ocean or the Pacific Ocean or whatever. And those are just chalked up as, quote unquote, business losses. Even though,
you mean like sunk?
Yeah, or
like
like
had to turn around, or
disappeared.
Or
disappeared.
Or bad weather, and they lose a couple of cartons off the top. I mean, they're putting hundreds on there. So
a couple cases of America beer.
Well, and where the story is going is that one of the one of the containers that they lost, and this was years ago, was rubber ducks. So the container goes down.
Oh, I did hear about that.
But it opens, so all the ducks come out and are floating, and they're like, "Well, we can't really hide this. How are we gonna?" Usually, it just goes away, and you don't have to worry about it.
Did they or did they not use them to study weather?
They did, because they used the ducks
patterns of the oceans.
Yeah, to watch and because they had never had such a
flotilla of ducks.
Yeah, and it was funny because they worked their way around the world, and they ended up landing. Some of them, anyway, made it all the way to England, which was apparently the ending point that they were using. But yeah, it was kind of fascinating that it was.
And 2 of them wound up on the Mighty Kish.
Yeah, I suspect so, and made you a bunch of money.
There's some kind of drainage system. Yeah, I did hear that story. That's just amazing that they decided to go ahead and use this horrible disaster of duck release to their advantage. Which, really, I mean, if you don't take the ducks out, they're not hurting anything.
Right.
I mean, they're not destroying anything. They're not melting into the water. So, yeah, there you go. Perfect. Mm-hmm. Now, were they able to get any of them in, like, say, a Sharknado? And test the inner winds and torque of a Sharknado? That would be awesome if they scooped up some of the ducks.
Yeah, or a Ducknado.
A Ducknado.
Maybe that's what it was.
So. One of the best lines I saw, there was I may have mentioned this in another show, I don't remember. Zombie Nation is a complete rip-off sci-fi, I think it's sci-fi, of Walking Dead.
Okay.
But they step it up a notch in the fact that their zombies run really fast. And they just grab you and kill you instantly.
They have the speedy zombies.
And when
cheetahs.
Like cheetahs. A cheetah zombie. But when you die, there's none of this Walking Dead crying and getting sad. You instantly turn. I mean, like, instantly, and you're biting someone's head off. So they stepped it up a notch. Mm-hmm. It was kind of fun to watch, but the story's not there. I'll tell you that. But at one point in this show, because it was sci-fi, there was a tornado that came across a farmland, scooped up a bunch of zombies and started throwing them all over the place. And one lady, she's holding the gun, and she looks at the guy and she says, "At least they're not sharks." And it's about as bad as you can get.
I was going to say, you don't get too many hat tips to Sharknado and other...
Which is on number 4 now. Sharknado 4.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm 4 behind, is that what you're telling me?
Yes, 4 behind.
So
speaking of... Sharks on a plane.
Snakes on a plane was... I watched
on
that.
A plane. Mean mother.
Since we're taking a media moment, have you started watching Stranger Things?
Watch the whole thing.
Okay, then shut up. So, because I'm only on episode 4.
All right. Well, episode 5 is the one you want to watch because
it's the best. It is,
but it's brilliant. It's so much fun.
Oh,
so
let me tell you,
for those of us who grew up in the '80s, it's fantastic.
The best part about it, this doesn't ruin a single thing, is like the intro and the credits.
Yes.
I mean, it is as 80s as it gets.
That's right.
HBO? And the music.
Netflix.
Netflix original called Stranger Things. It's an 8-episode pilot season, but it's going over immensely. Everybody loves it. There's going to be another season. But it almost gives you the feel... I'm wondering if it's going to be like American Horror Story, or if it's like...
Yes.
Do they continue the story, or are they going to give us a new story of Stranger...
Right.
I don't know where they're going with it.
Mm-hmm.
But the first one, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was just incredible.
So far, so good.
So I will wait till you're done, and then we will talk about it.
Yeah.
And whoever hears the show and hasn't seen it, too bad, because we're going to talk about it.
So get watching. It's only 8 episodes.
But yeah, I think I watched it in 3 days. I couldn't stop.
Probably. Yeah, I'm watching it with my wife, so it'll take 4 months.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's because we're a little
She
pokey.
watched it with me in 3 days.
Oh. Well, she's good about, not giving away spoilers. So, okay, we got the Tavern Hill Liar shows. Right.
Okay, we're all past that. Where was I going to go with that? You had something you wanted to bring up tonight. Well, and I want to make sure we squeeze it in here because we are creeping right along here at 46 minutes. So.
Sure. Basically, we were talking about things going on this weekend, and
Correct.
I'm kind of excited, not only because I'm playing at Prairie on State Winery, which is always exciting and fun, but also the high school football season starts.
Yes, it does.
And
I believe your son played football.
My son
before
played
he graduated.
football. He did graduate this year. Yeah. So, and has survived his first week of community college.
Nice. Nice.
So, so things are moving right along. And the Belvedere Bucks start their season playing against Boylan.
Oh.
Yeah, who is
the enemy.
You know, you don't normally want to start your season with Boylan, but on the other hand, you know, we beat them last year on the first.
And
game,
wasn't it a surprise, like a complete underdog win?
Oh, I was just reading about it. It was 21-20.
Right.
Yeah, and
was not supposed to happen.
yes,
Extra
and so,
point.
Somewhere along the line, yes, and
Vegas turned upside down.
It was not my it was not my son that kicked the extra point. So, so my son was the kicker, and but not for that game. And what's interesting about the Buck season this year is that my daughter, who is very competitive and very much a anything you can do, I can do better
right.
Mentality, has joined the sophomore football team and is kicking for it.
Look at that.
I'm pretty excited to see what happens if she gets out there, if she doesn't get out there. Either way, the experience has been fantastic so far. The coaches have been great with her. She comes home completely pissed off one day and then on cloud 9 the next day, and you know, and it's this roller coaster as you would expect with a girl playing
Well,
football.
did she play soccer?
So
Does she play soccer?
yes, she has played soccer for a very long time.
Right.
And
that's what I've been waiting to see.
yes,
is a girl
and actually
come in.
the varsity team also has a girl soccer player who is extremely good that my daughter has played with for years, and so that'll be fun to do too. Should be an interesting season for the Bucks. Let me just put it that way.
Awesome.
So yeah,
So now-
looking forward to it.
I'm sure that the team, to accommodate her, to make her feel more comfortable, and because obviously you have
Because it's football and it's all about comfort and easing you into
she's a
things.
girl, and then you have all the guys, and then you have that, I'm sure there'll be plenty of camaraderie there because she's now the new Disney princess.
So it's funny you say that because I believe she actually looks forward to weight training days.
Oh.
But I'm afraid that's because, as soon as she sits down at the bench, there's like 9 guys willing
Spotting.
waiting to spot her. So
you need a hand with that. Yeah. So I'm thinking, doesn't the school, just to make her more comfortable, as I was alluding to, they make all the boys change in the girls' locker room, correct?
I'm sure they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be the proper thing to do.
Especially the football team. I'm sure they bring them all over there with all their pads. And, let them both be grossed out by each other.
Right.
So
that's the way to go.
Yeah.
So does she have now she's playing for the softball team?
Yeah, for the fresh soft team.
Fresh soft team. Now, when's the first game, or is she slated to play soon?
It's tomorrow night. I don't know the time, though, other than they've got to be wrapped up by 7:30, which is when the varsity plays.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if they start at 5:30.
Is there another kicker on the team besides her?
There is.
Okay.
So there's kind of that mixed blessing. At least there's somebody else there that that can give her pointers and has done it before and knows how to deal with the pressure and things. But so
do you need any help with those weights?
Stop! This is my daughter we're talking about.
I can't stop the music from coming in. It just creeps in at certain times. I'm not doing it. I'm not controlling it.
But yeah,
like
proud father, and honestly, she fought us, on it. We said no, both. My wife and I were like, no, it's not going to happen. And she's like, well, what do I got to do to make it happen? And
to be a kicker?
To be on the football team. And we're like, well, you go talk to the coach and you go, all this blah blah blah. And she did. She waited 2 hours on the first day, for him to get out and said, I'm serious about this. And so, we're behind her now. And
awesome.
Yeah, it's fun to hear it's fun to hear her side of things, just because it's a whole new sport to her, and she came home with the Football for Dummies book, so she would, so she could figure out, how many points are scored on a touchdown, and
Well, here's what I'm looking for now. I want to go to a game, and I want to see her kick off
Oh,
and then when nobody's expecting it, just level the guy returning it. And the coach might even say, just hold back, let the guys take over. And
Even
she's
if
like,
it's
no.
illegal.
Yeah, oh, no.
An illegal
No.
hit would be
Yeah.
good. Just
Right.
a good,
So-
I mean, good hit.
Horse collar, clothesline,
Right, whatever it
you
is.
see,
Boom.
drop kick all
Done.
in one.
I'm with
All right.
you.
Well, at this point, she's only doing PATs, which she had to come
Point.
home and be like, "Dad, what's a PAT?" And I'm like, "Point after touchdown." So you're okay. But she's not a large girl, but you know, if you saw her on the soccer field, she is worth her weight.
Right.
You know, and actually, the visions in my head are of, you know, some running back, you know, catching this kickoff and getting through everybody, and then her kind of standing there and him sliding by and her giving him a hip check that sends him into the stands, because that would be much more like her style.
Right.
Well, she doesn't get pushed around a lot on the soccer field.
She does, but she knows how to handle it.
Right.
And actually, I think she's kind of looking forward to next soccer season now that she's got more upper body strength.
Right.
I think she should wear the football helmet in the soccer field.
I think so too. Yeah,
A little intimidation
or at
there.
least the pads or something. You know, just to let them know where they're coming from or where she's coming from. So, with that though, my son, who was also a kicker, did do the kickoffs and did get to level a guy who was not expecting a 180-pound kicker
Right.
to clean his clock. You know, after he broke through the other 10 guys.
And those are the moments we take through life.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
When we got to lay that guy out.
Those little things.
And beautiful moment. Exactly.
I had one of those layout moments.
You had a layout?
Yeah. I was on the wrong end, though.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
You remember Rick Short?
Rick
You
Short
heard
went
that
on to
name?
play.
Yeah, Major
Minor-
League Baseball.
Yeah, he made it into a game
Actually
or two.
debuted at Wrigley Field playing for the Washington Nationals.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so we
Sounds
know he's
like you didn't let this go.
no, he's a professional athlete, and Rick Short was on my high school football team. I was playing.
He was also on my 8th grade basketball team, by the way.
There you go.
Just to, you know.
So you can claim fame to Rick Short as well.
That's right. Yes, he was known as the garbage man. I'm just saying.
So I'm playing defensive end,
I knew him before Jim did.
but I knew him better.
Well, whatever. Yeah,
We
maybe
were
you got a
very
little
close.
He's got a
closer.
better
Yeah.
story.
So I'm playing defensive end in a scrimmage game against our own team in a practice, and Mike Rolando is the quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
And
Still an Elgin
I'm
local.
thinking I want to
Yeah.
prove myself because the coach says, go in and play some defensive end. Let's see what you can do. So Mike Rolando goes back. There's nobody blocking me. I'm right through the line. I'm about 3 inches away from Mike Rolando, and you can't actually hit them because they're redshirted. But I can wrap them up and hold them and say, you know, good job, Jim. You got the sack. Well, Rick Short played tight end, and he was the tight end on the other side of the line from where I was lined up.
Okay.
Which means he had a good 25 feet to run to get to me. And hit me so hard right before I hit the quarterback.
Before you wrapped him up, you were
The
hitting
crown of his
Yeah.
helmet was on my chin. They said I was out for 12 minutes. I woke up with Rick Short looking at me saying, way to take a hit, Wallace.
Oh, good
You
job.
got shorted.
Oh, my Lord.
Good job.
So there I am. I'm just laying there, and they said, stay down. And then I got up and went over the sidelines. So when I saw Rick Short get a base hit at Wrigley Field, and he's on first base, and it's his first major league hit. He had played in the minors for like 10 years.
Right,
And he
right.
finally got his break to come up and play for the Nationals because I think it was their third base or shortstop guy got hurt, so they pulled him up from AAA. Mm-hmm. And he's standing on first base, and he's brushing off his knees, and he kind of wipes his hands, and he gives a high five to the first base coach. And I look, and I'm like, that guy laid me out for 12 minutes. That professional
And
athlete.
didn't care.
And didn't care.
Didn't care. Hey, you know, total aside, Ryan, nephew, who you probably went to school with, Cienko,
Yes?
is now
Oh, yeah.
the catching coordinator at the LA Dodgers. He's
Oh, really?
Really?
right from Larkin High School.
Oh, wow.
Alumni. Yeah,
Huh.
Very nice.
he's
Keep it in the family.
keep it in the family.
That's what we do.
Right.
And I think you had, where are we now? We're at
No,
56 minutes.
We're good.
Minutes.
We're good. So
I want to see Football Princess. I want to know what that is.
we just told you about the football
yeah,
princess.
that was my
His
my
daughter.
daughter.
Oh,
My
She is
daughter's
the
a
football
football
princess.
princess.
Yeah, Lee wanted to talk something about he had a botched surgery, but we'll save that for another show because we're getting close to the end here.
wow.
Jim was jealous.
Well,
Didn't want to be the only one.
why don't you do the honors
Oh,
and grab the six
the what? What am I grabbing?
The 6-string gilly
Are you sure that's what I'm
and
grabbing?
slap all 10 of those meaty little fingers on it. All 10, and close the show out here. In studio, Brian.
Yes.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank
Well,
you.
no, thank you for letting me talk about the VolksFest.
Absolutely.
I hope that
is great.
people come out. It's the festival for the people.
It is the festival for
And
the people.
And we need to do something in this town rather than everybody else's town.
See, and I want to do more stuff like this so they don't bring a Target or a Walmart to try and draw people to this town.
Correct.
Keep it out.
Right.
Let's
Come
concentrate on
see my
VolksFest.
town for a couple hours and go home.
Correct. The only people we want here that don't live here are coming down Main Street.
Correct.
If you're going to turn off Main Street, you got to know someone. Or you get arrested.
Business. I believe that should be the motto.
And Genoa's only got 2 cells, I think, in the jail. And I think one of the cells is actually one of the bathrooms with a deadbolt on. So we can't handle all the criminals. here, so.
Right.
And we talked about this in a previous show. Did you hear about a state line review done by a popular magazine? I can't remember which one it was. It was like somewhere from a Chicago magazine, but they named Genoa as the safest state line city.
I believe I did.
Crime-wise
and we
and
are.
what happens
We're
here.
a wonderful city.
Yep. Nothing happens
Nothing happens.
except VolksFest.
Only good things happen in Genoa.
Only good things happen in Genoa. Ladies and gentlemen, this is podcast number 24. You know what that means?
It means we're old.
That means we should probably do something for the next one.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like a quarter of a century years old.
We've been around for 25 years.
Podcast 25 coming up next week. We've been doing this now since February.
I saw it. I heard. I've listened.
Fantastic. Pretty fantastic. So, podcast 25 will be next week. And we were out last week. I apologize about that. But we'll get into more of that story. It has to do with the bot surgery for Levis.
And the Tavern Hill Liars.
But it takes yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But it takes a long time to get that story out, and we want to
Yeah.
go into details, so we don't have the time tonight. But Levis is fine; he's recovering. Everything's good. It's not bleeding anymore.
He won't be having any more children, I hear.
No more children.
One football princess is enough.
Let's just say that the dog's okay too.
No lasting injuries.
It was a bug tussle. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, very much for tuning in to the JDAWG and Leevis Show here on podcast number 24. It is August 25th, 2016. Once again, just to let you know, as In Studio Brian came in to talk to us about the VolksFest in Genoa, Illinois, is September 9th, 10th, and 11th. That's coming up here very soon. If you want to find more information about it, you can go to www.volksfest.org or .com. We'll get you to the same website. And VolksFest is VOLKSFEST. So go to volksfest.com or org and get all the information you need to know.
I believe, Jim, it's Genoa VolksFest.
Is it?
.com or org.
Oh.
Yes. You got to
right.
put Genoa before
Here, hold on.
VolksFest because there are
Hold-
other
hold on.
Volks out there in the world.
All right, hold on 1 second. Levis, why don't you stop playing there for a minute? Here's what we're going to do.
I'm done.
I don't
I'm
think
going
you're
to Google.
You ain't gonna find us on on Volksfest. You got Genoa Volksfest.
You just hold on 1 second. I'm going to type this right into the Googles. This is Genoa VolksFest.
Right, and that's gonna come up.
All right, stop. And in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to podcast 24 here on the JDAWG and Leevis Show. We had In Studio Brian here tonight talking about VolksFest in Genoa. If you want to learn more about VolksFest, you can go to www.genoavvolksfest.org. I believe .com will also get you there as well. Let me spell that for you. It's GenoaVolksFest. VolksFest. GenoaVolksFest.org.
It's also advertised on beerfests.com.
Did you see that?
Yeah, about 4 down.
Genoa Volksfest Beerfest.com. Let me click on that and see what we got here.
I'm glad we made it all those places.
Free beer shirts.
New
I
beer
think,
shirt.
I'm pretty sure that's an advertisement, though. What do we got here? It says Friday, September 9th through Sunday, September 11th at the corner of Park Avenue and Madison Street in Genoa, Illinois.
It's really Route 72.
It is Route 72. So, yeah, go to that website, get all the information you need to know. Come on out. It's going to be a great time. Friday night bands. On Saturday, you got beer. You got the Great Volks March. You can walk around and not have to run. And you can say, I did a 10K. You don't have to tell them you didn't run it. Just tell them you did a 10K.
What if you get lost?
You can't get lost.
Then you get
because
to
all the
lost.
paths come right back to where they started.
Everything leads to where you started.
It's a big
Right.
circle.
So you're not really wandering if you can't get
Right.
lost.
All
It's a
who
half a
wander
wander.
are not lost.
I suppose
Remember,
that's
J.R.R. Tolkien said that.
Really?
That is-
All those who wander are not lost.
That was Tolkien.
Correct.
Well, maybe some of them. When I wander, I'm pretty lost. So, thank you again, in Studio Brian, for coming out. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Absolute pleasure.
I appreciate it.
And you can put your pants back on now.
Thank you.
Thank you for finally getting
Thank
those
you.
off. Nice thong, by the way.
Thank you.
God, that is just beautiful.
My wife bought it for me.
She did.
Is it thong?
Oh, it's very. It's very becoming.
Red is my color.
Well, I like the shag on
Thank you.
Fringe.
it. So here, Podcast 24, JDAWG and Leevis Show. You can always reach us here on Spreaker.com, and that's most likely why you're here listening. So really don't have to tell you how to get there. Spreaker.com/JDAWG and Leevis. If you want to get more information about the show, you can always go to Facebook/JDAWG and Leevis. There we post most of the upcoming events that are going on in the show, any guests that we have coming up. We also would like you to contact us at our email, and that is jdawgandleevis@gmail.com. There you can please give all of your requests for Leevis, what you want him to play, what you want him to do, what you want him to see, what you want him to say. He'll
want me
do
to wear.
anything. Because I've repeated this time and time again, Leevis is the ultimate radio whore. And he will do anything to get your good graces.
It's true.
So thank you very much for tuning in again. Oh, iTunes. I always like throwing that one out there. As a matter of fact, today I was in a warehouse, which is involved with my job, and there was a break room with a television that had what do they call it? Apple TV box. It's like a tiny little box that they plug into the HDMI port in the TV, and it goes into the internet. And I went right in there and I typed JDAWG and Leevis in the search, and it was right there on the TV, and I left it playing in the break room. So you can get JDAWG and Leevis on iTunes anywhere through Apple TV or your mobile device. So that's all I got. I'm $500 richer because of the duck race. Still have a little bit of that cash, I think, somewhere in a cup. I think it's a German cup in the kitchen. It's an old German beer cup.
Should have.
Might be like 76 cents in there. Maybe I'll put that towards a duck for you, Brian.
You should buy a duck. Everybody buy a duck.
Everybody should buy it.
Everybody should buy a duck. Look at ducks bring luck.
Ducks
I
bring
believe.
And ducks rhyme with truck.
And muck.
And luck. And buck.
And is cruck a word?
No.
Can I make it one?
You can make it one.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to have a wonderful evening, and we're going to continue drinking, and then we're going to just cuddle a little. That's about it. Give me an ending chord. And close it. Nice.
That was nice.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.